Okay, John, we're so glad to have you back. We just spoke recently about what Legacy Lantern is, the service that you offer, and today I'm super excited to dive into what the features are. We're also going to be talking about the different memberships and how people are using Legacy Lantern to leave an incredible legacy for the ones they love. So I'm going to let you jump in and tell us all of the goodies.
All right, that sounds great. That sounds great. Let's talk about that feature set and what people are using and why they're using these things. So we've talked before about time capsules that you can set a specific date for, right? And that's really great for a couple of things. I got some very important dates set aside for my daughter's birthday, which I know what those dates are going to be, right? And whether I'm here or not, I want the option to go ahead and have those things set up. So I've got a very special 18th birthday, for her 18th birthday capsule set up where I've got everything that I want to say in it. I've got some pictures as well of when she was born and where I think she's going to go and all that sort of stuff so that I can boost her up right on her birthday to be there and be as present as I possibly can. And then if I'm around, great. I can print those off or I can just go ahead and have that release as well. But it's just one more reminder. And it's that organization that's inside of my life that I want to have. And it's one less thing that I have to worry about.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. I get another friend of mine that had, she was going to have surgery. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the surgery. But her anniversary was coming up. Right. And she said, well, just in case, let me just go ahead and have this there. And she had the peace of mind of everything. So when she walked into that surgery, just didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Right. And that was important. Yeah. And that was super good that she was able to do that from that perspective.
And if I understand correctly, John, it's something that you can just really record even from your phone or on your computer. This does not have to be something fancy. It doesn't have to be in beautiful nature or a great background. It is literally at your fingertips and instantly it's uploaded to that cloud, right?
Right, exactly. We didn't want to get into a big production. The idea is that we have these family moments all the time, and family moments move rapidly, right? All of a sudden, the whole family is in the kitchen. Everyone's cooking at the same time, right? And someone has got sauce on their nose, and you just want to capture this exciting event. So you just bring your camera up or your video up like that on your phone or whatever you have, your tablet, and record it. And when you're done, you can just upload it and it's saved right there. No fancy equipment needed, nothing else like that. And you can look back on it. And it doesn't even have to be a super special event. Like it's literally, we were cooking and I just wanted to go off for Thanksgiving.
And all of those people who are going to be at the Thanksgiving table in 10 years, right? They can all have a copy of that and laugh and have that memory.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's all part of that where we really want to push that family connection and the fact that we have these moments that can get lost. And I've always called them emotional valuables.
Yeah.
Right? And these emotional valuables come and go and they can get lost very easily if we're not careful.
We take them for granted.
We do.
People's voice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a picture when my daughter, she got her first, her driver's permit.
Oh.
Right. And she's just so proud. She's beaming like this, like, yeah. And I don't want that lost on my phone. I don't want it buried in my computer.
No.
And I can go ahead and have that come up and I can put myself on the same time capsules, as well as a bunch of other people all at the same time. So I don't need to make 50 of them. It's one capsule, goes out to everyone. We can all just have these positive reminders of what's going on in our lives.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a dire situation.
Right. I love that. That's great. What are some other features that you want to mention?
Gosh, there's a couple. We've got, I think we talked about the date, and then the other one we talked about was location, a location time capsule. The beautiful thing about that one is I've always wanted to set up a capsule so that my kids can go back to where I was born and see where that spot was, but not necessarily tell them that, right? So I can have a time capsule set up where it's location based. They know that they have to go to this location. They can use their phone's GPS, drive to wherever that is. And when they go there, a time capsule unlocks and says, this is where I was born, or here's where you were born. right? Here's where I proposed to your mother,
Oh.
right? And we're not there yet, but my chief architect has talked about at what's called augmented reality, where you can superimpose a person in front of a bench or in front of a house. So
Wow.
we'd be able to do that. So when you slide your phone across, you would see, my wife and I in front of this location where we had our first house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
cool.
so, yeah, that's what we want. Create these special events. Explain why they're significant. A lot of times people go places and they don't know why it's significant, or you hear something, but we tell the story in our own voice, and we can talk about how hard it was or how joyful it was,
Yeah.
and really communicate that and pass that on. So
Yeah.
the location is good.
And that's
And
a
then,
legacy for generations. That's the
yes,
beauty, right?
yeah,
And
we want to push this forward. Like Ancestry does a lot with tracing your history backwards. We
yeah.
want to project the present forward. We
Wow.
want to be able there to introduce people. I want to be able to introduce myself to my grandchild and my great grandchild.
I love that. So
So
they
that's,
really get a sense for who you were. I love
yeah,
that. Oh,
yeah.
it's so fun. Yeah.
Static pictures are good, but
Uh-huh.
hearing that, a friend of mine said that his father
Mhm.
has this old Southern draw.
Mhm.
And when he talks a very particular way, and everyone knows who it is immediately. And you
Oh,
can't capture that with a picture and it's like
no,
that.
no.
So,
And you can't see
um,
yourself in that person either, right?
yeah,
That's the magic. You might be able to see yourself in that person and say,
right.
that's where I got my blue eyes or my crooked nose or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An
That's,
interesting fact is one of our close friends here mentioned that he just doesn't want to be on video.
mm,
He's bashful. He doesn't want to do that, but he wants to leave audio messages for his
mm,
friends and family.
mm,
So he'll be able to do that, and it's not just video; it's whatever you want it to do.
mm,
And he said again, just to help organize his things when he
mhm.
is ready to pass or whatever it is, he's going to feel very comfortable, and that's
That's
what he.
so great. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm sure as time goes on, there will be more and more features and capabilities for Legacy Lantern as things kind of evolve with technology. But for now,
yeah.
it's a great launching pad. I mean, what you have is a great place to start. And that's what I kind of want to talk about next. I want you to maybe share with us how do people get started, or how can they prepare? I know that you have 3 different memberships, and so I'll let you
Correct.
walk through those. But my curiosity is, how do we, let's say we want to do, well, you have a free trial. So let's talk about that. Why don't you tell us about the free trial first?
Okay, so for the free trial, it's 30 days free. What we don't want people to do is to buy in something and not know if they like it,
Yeah.
right? So it's a 30-day free trial. All the features are available, so they can understand how it all looks and feels and see if it's of value for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Anybody who wants to start with a free trial, what I would say, just to kind of maximize your time when you do that trial, is um, ask your family what questions they might want answered
Mm,
for you,
smart.
or just look around the house at things that are just kind of important to you, or make a list of things that you just want to talk about ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because what you're getting in that 30-day free trial is uh, it's the creation portion,
Mm-hmm.
and so in that free trial you can create as much as you want, as many time capsules as you want to make, to as many different people as you want to have, and they'll all trigger and work. They'll be released inside of that 30 days, so you can
Sounds
really
like
try it
so
out.
fun. So you
Yeah.
really can have people experience what it feels like to get a message. That's the
Yes.
most important reward, isn't it? To have someone's reaction and have your child say to you, "I want these forever."
Yes.
That's so
Yes.
fun. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a really good idea. Just look around your house, ask your family members what they might feel is important for you to record, and do
Yeah.
a trial of delivering that time capsule. Awesome.
Right.
Okay.
There's several other. Again, we just talked to a bunch of people, and they simply said, "I wouldn't even know what to talk about."
Mhm.
I talk to my dad and say, "Hey, Dad, just tell me about your childhood." I'm
Yeah.
like, when anyone is faced with that question, where do you even start?
Yeah.
Right? So
Mhm.
we've got a guided interview mode, our
Nice.
section on it, where you can go to that tab, and it's just got your childhood, you as an adult, favorite, favorite childhood memory. What was your first car?
Oh,
Tell me
prompt.
your prompts,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just initial prompts, and then you can video or you can audio record it, or you can write it down and then upload it if you want to do that. Type anything you want to
Mm-hmm.
answer those questions, and then be able to check those questions off and say, I have those. And once those are uploaded, you make those capsules whenever you want. And they persist past that 30-day free trial as well. And so what we didn't want to do is have people who uploaded a bunch of
Yeah.
their memories and their
Yeah.
stories, and then have people do it all over again.
Right. So how do you
Right.
combat that?
So past that, once you do the free trial and you create time capsules and they're released, you can go ahead and if you try to create a time capsule outside of the 30-day window, it'll simply say it's created, but it won't release
Mm.
because you're outside of that window.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then if you want to go ahead and either move to like the monthly membership or an annual or just a lifetime, you
Mm-hmm.
can go ahead and do that, and then they'll release inside of those time windows that you want.
So can you just understand what those are? Just break down each membership for us.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Right. So we've got the 30-day free trial, and then there's the monthly subscription that you can use because maybe you only want to use it for a couple of months,
Uh-huh.
and you're good. Now, here's the nuance to the free trial versus the monthly, is that in the free trial, your time capsules are only good for that 30-day free trial. If you go to a monthly membership and just pay for 1 month, anything you create at that point is good for, I want to be careful how I say this, forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does forever mean? That means that if I can make a time capsule for 15 to unlock in 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And after that 30 days is over, if you just want to do a 30-day membership and you turn it off, that time capsule is what we call in flight. In other words, it's ready,
I
right?
love
And it
it.
keeps moving.
Yeah.
So time passes, 15 years, it goes off. Because what we want people to pay for is just that content creation,
Yeah.
just so they have that window
Mm-hmm.
of availability. And when they don't need it anymore, that's fine.
Awesome. So it's already in flight. Once they've done it, it's in flight. And it may take somebody a month. It might take somebody 2 or 3 months. So that's something that they can turn on and turn off as they want, right? They come in and
Yep,
reactivate their membership. Okay.
absolutely. And yeah, and all the content is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they decide in the future, let's say they do it for 30 days or they want to do it for a year or whatever they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
they can always go back in and say, you know what, something has changed. I don't want to send that time capsule anymore. And they can turn it off and
Mm.
they can
Oh,
stop it,
I like that.
right? And they can go into that time capsule and say, I don't want that specific key holder
I
to be
see.
able to unlock that time capsule anymore. I want to change the content. Something has changed.
Smart. I love
There's so much more abundance in my life, and I
it.
want to add. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so what's beyond the 1 month subscription? What's the next one?
So then we move to a 1 year
Okay.
subscription, and then the lifetime.
Okay. So what do you
And
get
inside
in the 1 year?
So inside of the 1 year, you get all the basic features you get all the features from the monthly, but then you also unlock the location-based services. First off, you can set a location capsules that go off, and that's one of the biggest things that are right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also get a personal interview, which is different than the guided interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, we talked about this where some people need prompts.
Yeah.
And we wanted to offer a special service where if you want to be interviewed, you can set up a meeting with an interviewer, and through a Skype call or through something else like that, we jump online and interview you with a set of questions that you want to be interviewed, because maybe you just need to talk to a real person.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's
let
much
things
more
go.
comfortable talking to a human than talking to a computer, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Right.
awesome. I love that you have that. And okay, so is that the biggest difference?
To me,
yeah,
that's a lot. To me, that's the biggest difference because I like that human interaction. That's what I wanted. But the other thing that happens is, like you said before, that time capsule is in flight. If it's for 10 years or whatever it is, once the key holders unlock that capsule stays in the cloud for 1 year after it's unlocked. They
Mm-hmm.
can download the content anytime. They never have to go back to it. But if they lose their computer or phone or want to re-download it, they can always do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that stays available for a year. With a monthly subscription, after it's unlocked and opened, it stays in the cloud for a month.
Okay.
Right? Those are the differences there.
But they can be downloaded forever. Okay, that's great.
Well,
I love that.
they have 30 days to download them after they've unlocked the time
Right.
capsule.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they're on their own.
Okay, so my question is, let's say someone has passed and this time capsule is sending out messages. So how does one, let's say it's somebody's son, how does that son go in then and access, or can he access everything else? I mean, no. Who can access that? Only the person who did the time capsule. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
We wanted absolute anonymity because we believe people are going to have very private, personal
Yeah.
things to say, right? We are not social media. This is
Yeah.
not to be broadcast.
Yeah.
So if you created a time capsule or have a bunch of memories set up, you
Mm-hmm.
could have 15 or 50 time capsules set up to go out to different people at different points throughout their lives that you've created all in a month.
Right. What if someone changes their email address or their phone number? How do you contact them then?
Okay, so what happens is when they set up to be a contact,
Yeah.
right? So we're very big into what's that word we're looking for that I should always have on the top of my head, which is
Mm-hmm.
consent,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you want to go ahead and create a time capsule, and you want people to be key holders to unlock that time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
You would plug in their information at email address and phone number, and then send it to them. They have to approve the
Yeah.
fact that they want to receive anything from you,
Yes.
right?
Interesting.
Because
Okay.
not everybody wants to receive something from someone
Sure.
else.
Interesting. So they're still
So
in control.
they're still in control, absolutely. And once they have that email that goes out and says yes or no, they can always go back to that email and change it if they
Update.
decide later on,
Okay.
update it. Yeah,
I
they can update it.
see. Very good. Okay, that was my question. That makes it so easy to change.
Yes.
Good.
And then we'll send out periodic updates saying, hey, just so it's been 6 months. Is everything still current to that current one? And
Perfect.
yes, so we keep the key holders in control
Uh-huh.
and of what's going on if they update certain things, because we realize that's going to be a concern.
Very well. And what about the lifetime membership? Tell us about that.
So the lifetime membership is the big things with that are you get there are forums that unlock that are really big important things where people can start to share. One, they could share their stories if they want to, or if they just simply want to say, hey, I've gone to the Grand Canyon, this would be a great place to go ahead and make memories. And if they have questions and things that they want to share like that, that's where we start moving into the community space, right?
So can you help me understand that a little bit? Can you give me a scenario?
Sure. There are, I think a really good scenario for this is going to have to kind of go back to one of the other features I didn't get a chance to get to,
Okay.
right? And that is adventure mode.
Okay.
And adventure mode works very similar. This also explains the difference between a monthly and an annual, right?
Okay.
And was like, why would I need more than a month? The
Mm-hmm.
idea is this isn't necessarily a one-time thing. If you capture different parts of your life as you're going through life,
Right.
you don't have to try to play catch up. Some
Right.
people want to play catch up, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Other people want to say, you know what, I want to take that trip to the Grand Canyon. I
Mm-hmm.
want to go to the Great Sand Dunes. I want to go wherever and experience these things. With adventure mode on your phone, anything you upload inside of you bring up the Legacy Lantern app, you go to adventure mode and say anything from
Like, oh, there we go. I just lost you for a minute. It
oh,
seemed like
sorry.
something was really okay. Say that one more time because we lost about half of what you said. So they put it on adventure mode.
They put it on adventure mode,
Uh-huh.
and then from there, they can say, okay, for the next 10 days or whatever time that they want, any picture that they take or anything that they post, anything else like that automatically gets uploaded to the Legacy Lantern Vault, and they can come
Nice.
back to that later and then
And edit
curate it
it.
when they want, right? So you're
Mm.
documenting your life as you move forward, not
Mm.
just trying to capture your past.
The past. Oh, I love that.
Right.
That's
Right.
awesome. So that is, again, just a one-time fee, and then you have your whole life to keep it.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And at
Amazing.
that, right. Yeah. So 20 years later, someone unlocks that time capsule and 20 years goes by, that's still open for anyone who has the key. They can get it,
Mm-hmm.
but only them. And
Mm-hmm.
this goes back to your question of um, who can have access to that, to their vault, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you upload 100 memories and stories, and give them, you set them all up in time capsules. After you pass away, no one else has access to your information
Mm-hmm.
except you. So people can't get in and see things that aren't meant for them. That's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
Our promise is that, you know, at the right time, your message gets there and stays there, right? Only for them.
That is so
That's
remarkable. So I guess the other question that people will have is, I mean, who is monitoring all this, right? Who in the cloud? I mean, let's say that somebody lives for 50 years and that they outlive you, right? So what happens?
right.
Well, who's in control of all the data?
Uh, that's a broad question. So let me take a
I don't mean to
stab
put
at
you
that,
on the
right?
spot.
No, this is great because this has come up a lot, and
Mhm.
it's a very valid question. Same thing with security and encryption, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And the idea is that I am one person, but I started this company to stay uh, in perpetuity,
Yeah.
right? The idea that we actually have software and scripts and developers who stay working on this and monitor if there are any sort of issues that
Right.
come up with this. And so um, once it goes up into the cloud, we have services that are always keeping track of the data and its integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I happen to pass away or something else happen, the company is still there,
Goes on.
and
Yeah.
it goes on,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's the big thing. If there's
Yeah.
any issues like that, we would notify folks.
Mm-hmm.
And for safety and security, we set our software up on both sides of the United States. In other words, all the data is not sitting in someone's
One silo.
basement.
Right.
Yeah, it's on the Amazon Web Service cloud on the
Uh,
East Coast and replicated on the West Coast.
Interesting.
Both sides of the United States have to collapse at the exact same time
Oh, wow.
for your memories to not get pushed forward. And if that's the case, we have bigger stuff anyway.
So chances are slim.
Extremely
Yeah,
slim.
that's good
There's
to
like,
know.
I think
Yeah.
there's like 12 nines after the 20, after
Oh,
the
wow.
99%.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm.
very
Well, this
brutal.
is so exciting. So they can really, anyone can go to your website at Legacy Lantern and read about each of the memberships. They can use the trial membership and see how they fall in love with it and then decide what path they want to go. I feel like that's a really fair way to do it. And people are going to find that it's just really easy to use. So I'm excited to share that. Is there anything that we're missing? Anything else you want to touch on before I let you go, John?
Oh boy, you know what? We could talk about this for a super long time, but let's see. Um, yes, there's one more thing I want to get going.
Wait, I'm having a hard time hearing you again. Okay, there you go.
So,
I think you need to just step back a little bit. Yeah.
how
Okay,
about this?
try again. Yes.
Bueller.
Yes.
Good.
Yep. Can you hear me now? I can.
Yeah, so one more mode that really was inspired from my military time was called watchdog mode.
Hmm.
And where that comes from is you can create a time capsule on the fly with your phone or with your laptop that's set to a watchdog mode, and it's a timer. So you can set the watchdog to say, in 10 days, if I don't come back and turn this off, release it.
What?
Yes, and here's why.
Whoa.
Um, so my son is in the Marine Corps and I was in the military as well, right? I wanted the ability for him to grab his phone and have it automatically preset to look at his phone and say, Mom and Dad, we're going in. Bad things could happen. I love you very much. Say what he needs to say.
Yeah.
As soon as he lets his finger off of the phone, it automatically uploads the time capsule and his message, and the watchdog is watching for his response.
This gives me chills. Wow.
So,
And
yeah,
if there is no response, it comes directly to you.
it unlocks the time capsule to who you needed to go to.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
and people
Wow.
saying, you could go ahead and offer this to, the Peace Corps,
Mountaineers.
military,
Yeah,
anybody,
yeah,
people who are going into surgery or anything else like
right.
that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's quite exciting to realize that if I could help the troops as well, just have peace of mind if
Oh,
something's
I
coming
love
up
that. And
for their
still,
family.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I think
Oh, I
that's the big
love
thing we haven't gotten to.
that's a
Yeah.
huge one. Oh, that's incredible. I mean, I think life is so unpredictable, but it doesn't have to be left with things unsaid, right?
Right.
So even at that moment, if you've thought that through, it almost gives you comfort at the most uncomfortable
Yeah, it's done.
time.
It's taken care of for you, and it's really, really good. Um,
Wow.
gosh.
I love it.
All
John,
right.
you're inspiring. This is so exciting. I can't wait to share this with my group. And I thank you for sharing all of the features and all of the benefits. And I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader.
That's awesome.
So
Can I
that's,
share one more?
yes, please.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
We were talking about the location-based stuff, and it occurred to me that um, I think I've said this to you when we were, privately talking, and
Yeah.
that when my mom passed away, I heard all of these amazing stories that I never knew were part of her life,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
Um, and what we've talked about now is another great ability to offer is you could set a time capsule on your gravesite. So you could set that up for your whole family, which means that you could create time capsules wherever you have people who have passed away. And as you approach that, a time capsule unlocks, and then you can tell the story of your grandfather if they're already gone, or your grandfather's voice will pop up and he could tell his favorite story. You can revisit locally right there and keep it moving forward.
That is amazing.
So,
I am so glad you shared that. I
yeah,
mean, I think the more connected we can be with the people that we love the most, right? And you're kind of melding technology and I mean the best parts of technology to do that. I think that's pretty remarkable. Yeah.
thank you. I'm excited.
Good job. Wow. John, well, thanks again for being with us. I really appreciate your time and all your energy. I can feel you're super passionate about it. And I hope this goes out to the whole world.
Well, we're getting ready to release on the 22nd, so I think we're just like 6 days away from
Wow.
our early release. So yeah, we're excited.
Good. Well, I can't wait to circle back around and see how this progresses.
Well, thank you, Anitra. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks, John.
Okay, bye.